this gallery was created using SaganWorks, a platform that allows users to create and explore virtual spaces that we like to call Sagans. And Sagan lets you present various like mediums of art in this 3D space, such as exhibitions like this. So here's the space.
It looks so cool. Did a very good job building it, Zoya.
Thank you. So for this Sagan, I chose the theme, the Dias Cast, since I wanted to like explore what impacts the lives of different artists and give a platform to share like the effects of significant choices that affect us in our lives. I would like to take some time and ask you guys, or you, Jasmin, some questions about your art. So I love this piece, by the way. Like the hands just like so awesome. So how would you describe yourself as an artist and the art you enjoy making?
That's a very great question. I would say I am an artist who loves to push boundaries and perspectives. I'm more of a surrealist, so I like to make things that aren't real look real. And sometimes I like to dabble into some political aspects, such as this piece being shown. And I would say I'm just very like free. I just like to create from the heart, really.
So what was like your main inspiration behind this piece in particular?
Perfect. Okay. So I actually created this piece, I believe, in 2020. That's when the Black Lives Matter protests were happening, a lot of controversy. And so I wanted to make kind of like my first political piece. And so I did a acrylic painting of my father, and I didn't want to just put him in the middle, but I kind of wanted to do something different. And he actually came up with the idea with the hands on his face from the Joyner Lucas ADHD album cover, and I thought that was perfect. So my dad has been in the military for 10 years. He is a veteran. He's a Marine. And so I kind of wanted to push the aspect of like, you're a Black man living in the United States, you are from here, you're born here, you serve your country, but how does it feel to serve a country that doesn't really like serve you back? So I kind of wanted to put that faith is blind, like even though times get rough, um, you know, Black Lives Matters happening, it's still look towards the light, still have faith. Because even though he does feel like, veterans are overlooked and there's not much happening for him, he still has faith in this country as well. So that's like my whole inspiration behind this piece being shown.
That's beautiful. How do you feel about seeing your art in a virtual gallery space versus a traditional gallery space?
It feels surreal. Like it feels really cool. Like I haven't had my art in a virtual gallery before. So seeing it actually like how it looks in this virtual world, it looks very nice. It actually blew my mind. I think it looks amazing. It actually makes me very happy because I feel like it's also more accessible here than it being in person. But I don't feel like it being in person or virtual takes away from it in any way. It's very beautiful and I love it.
So what first led you to pursue art?
Uh, Great question. I have no idea. Like I feel like I've been around art, I want to say my whole life. But I've always been into like coloring with like my mom. And so I just started drawing out of nowhere. I don't even know where it came from. But I attended an art school since elementary, and they like gave me all these supplies. And once I just figured out it's so many different forms and different styles I could do, and I can make whatever I want. I just found that so cool and inspiring. But I really started taking art serious, I think my seventh grade of middle school. So I was just like, yep, art is that one thing I'm going to continue doing. I just draw wherever I go. I literally can't stop drawing. It's just I have to draw everything that I see. So I was like, yep, art is it. Art is it. I can't. I have to do it. I have to.
Mm. Is there like a key moment that shaped your art journey?
I would say my influencers, like I would say, my art teachers that I had, especially my sixth grade art teacher. Her name is Miss Kyles. She's been amazing. Like she's one teacher who actually saw like the potential in me, and she challenged me to the core in sixth grade. Like literally, like I was drawing realistic portraits in sixth grade. Like it was crazy. But she's really pushed me. My family's pushed me. They always made sure, I had a voice in what I do, and my voice just happens to be art. So they just made sure that's been pushed. So I really appreciate all like the people in my life who just been pushing me to create.
Mm. So do you like how do you incorporate social or political commentary in your work usually?
Uh, that's a tough question. So I don't make a lot of pieces that seem very political, but in a way I kind of do. I'm very into symbolism, whether you see like a burning flag or like flags or not, it's always something there that could be framed in a political aspect. Um, I'm always drawing people, and sometimes I like to focus on either facial expressions or maybe like patterns that may seem, a little bit off. Um, but yeah, I just like to tell stories in a way. Like you will really have to look at the art, come up with your own interpretation, and then when you read like the artist statement, it's something totally new. I really like that view on it as well. But yeah, I just like symbolisms really. That's my main thing. Whether it's hands, whether it's flags, whether it's I don't know, maybe stars, or like if we're talking about gun violence, you may see a gun there somewhere hidden, like hidden meanings or hidden messages that seem kind of obvious, but then it's not at the same time. It may seem like I'm an artist that mass produce work, but I'm really not. I probably will make like a really cool art piece every like 6 months, but it's gonna turn out dope and really cool. And sometimes when you create artwork, not everything needs a meaning. And sometimes I just like to have fun. So yeah, that's all that I would say about that.
Mhm. You can also follow you on your art account, jazzy.eris, I think. Is that how you pronounce
Yes.
it?
Yes, it is. Jazzy.Aries.
Okay, Zoya, let's check out your piece or pieces.
Yeah, there's a couple here. Here's probably my most recent one.
So before you tell us a little bit about this piece, could you tell us about yourself as an artist and the art that you enjoy to make?
Yeah, so I'm primarily a digital artist, but I'm like dabbling in traditional mediums. And I use that back to draw stories, basically. So my art tends to focus more on character design and like graphic novel expi like with a graphic novel aesthetic, or something that's like equally narrative driven.
Yeah, you can totally see that here, like even in this piece, the narrative. Um, can you, what was your inspiration behind this piece?
Yeah, so for this one, it was like my fascination with tarot cards mostly. So basically, this spread in particular represents kind of like the waxing and waning of relationships. There's like many ways to read a tarot spread, but this is how I would read this one. So I chose like the lovers, the three of swords, and the tower to create a message on like how relationships shape our lives, where like the lovers show the joyful side of it, where like the three of swords can express conflict and pain, which is something like every relationship, like family, friends, etc., will experience. But we all emerge from that pain like stronger and more self-aware, which is what the tower is. So yeah.
So yeah, that's so beautiful. I
Thank
relate
you.
to it so much. It's that is like a very universal storyline for, like you said, any sort of relationship, not necessarily romantic. Did you have a like a type of relationship in mind when you were creating it?
When I made this one, I didn't really have a specific relationship in mind, to be honest. It was probably more like friendship, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you described that, I thought friendship too, actually. It's my first thought. Um, Before I ask the next question, do you want to walk over to the other piece?
Oh, sure.
I just want to ask what your inspiration behind the other piece was also.
Yeah. So this one was like actually based off of a poster for I did for Neutral Zone, which was like the first art show I had to do that was like mostly myself, but I had help like from Trevor and some staff members there. This one is kind of like symbolizes the time when I kind of had to step out of my comfort zone to like make things happen for this event. So
The brain clouds are so great.
thank you. Brainstorms
Mm,
happening in the background.
that's funny, I didn't catch that. How do you feel about seeing all of these pieces in a virtual gallery space?
So it's very cool. It's like the first one I've ever experienced. So it's pretty cool. I do like the fact that like we live in a digital age, so it kind of like makes sense to have art more accessible like this, where you can just share it to anyone whenever.
Was it
Yeah.
hard since you built the space, in addition to being in the show, what was it challenging to build, or how long do you think it took you to build it?
Hmm. Honestly, I think like maybe figuring out how to arrange the pieces took a while, but once like I figured that out, um, like how to design the right space for them, what feels good, it was pretty easy.
Yeah, it's like the work is layout and curation and less the actual like moving objects around.
Yeah.
Um, what was a key inspirational moment that shaped your art journey, Zoya?
Key moment. Hmm. Okay. I would say it's probably when I joined like WOCAD Teen Council in Detroit or did something to like surround myself with other artists. Like when I joined Visual Art Collective and Neutral Zone. Basically being surrounded by artists like kind of pushes me to do more art because like, you know, I kind of want to like succeed with the rest of everybody else and just like they're also good motivators. Like they support you, they have your back, they understand what you're going through, basically.
What advice would you give to other artists who are just starting their creative journey?
Yeah, never stop creating is one for sure, a big one. Because like it's easy to like fall off. Like I've done it many times, but you gotta like pick yourself back up and just like, you know, never stop. Like never stop even creating trash art too. Because you have to wade through the trash in order to get to the treasure, basically.
Jasmin, do you have, we didn't ask you that question, but do you have a piece of advice to other artists that are just starting their creative journey?
Yes, actually, my piece of advice is you do not need the most expensive art supplies to make dope art. Like, you can make art out of anything, you just need that creative mind and that drive. You can make things out of like trash, honestly, and it turned out so cool. So you don't have to buy you the most expensive paintbrush or canvas to make something really dope. Just be yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Zoya.
Yeah.
But both of you, your work is beautiful, and it looks really cool in this virtual gallery. And Zoya, this virtual gallery, I think, is really cutting edge, and I think you're pushing a new way of sharing art, and you're at the forefront of that. It's really cool.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for being here today, Jasmin. I really liked
Yes,
hearing
thanks
more
for
about your
having
art.
me.
Yes, thank you, Zoya, for making such a beautiful space and for making beautiful art. And yeah, thank you both for making time on this Thursday night. Yeah, you're both so well spoken. It's like lovely to hear your thoughts.